Hi guys, it's Ian Thompson. That's a very strange question, isn't it? What type of tent are you? And as we're moving into 2021 after such a hectic 2020, I've been seeking God's face on many occasions about various things. And he led me to a specific verse and he keeps leading me to it. And it's a verse about me having to learn something. And I just thought it was quite amusing to think of it as a tent. Are you living in a tent that you've created, or are you living in a tent that God has created? Let me give you the verses for today. The verses for today are Philippians 4, verses 10 to 13, and I'll actually read them out for you, so I apologise for looking downwards. They say, I rejoiced greatly in the Lord that at last you renewed your concern for me. Indeed, you were concerned, but you had no opportunity to show it. I'm not saying this because I'm in need, for I have learned to be content, whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all things through him who gives me strength. And that was Paul writing to the Philippians. And Paul had said to them, he had been through many trials and tribulations, and he had learned to be content. He was living in that content that God had created. That was his tent. He was living in this thing he had learned, to be content in all things. And I struggle with this. This is something I struggle with daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. But God keeps bringing it back to me. Ian, you need to learn to be content. It's not something I'm going to give you. I need you to learn this. And that's by a renewing of my mind. That's by a refocusing on God. That's by knowing exactly the tent that God has created for me to live in. So it's a very short message, but what type of tent are you? Are you a tent that you've created and God's maybe not in there? Are you a tent that won't stand a storm and when the wind blows, when it's gone? Or have you learned to be content in all circumstances? Happy New Year to you. Have a great 2021. God has many blessings that he can unfold. And as much as 2020 pushed us to the limit, hopefully 2021 will be much better for you, and God will do great things, and expect him to do great things. My previous word was expect the unexpected. This one is, what type of tent are you? God bless you. Have a great day and a great week.